A Great Yarmouth Hospital has come under scrutiny for its LGBT guidance recommended to its patients. The James Paget Hospital, which is located on Lowestoft Road, released an 8-page document named Celebrating Pride in 2021, and it was reviewed earlier this year in June. This includes the history and key events of Pride and has a Pride glossary that patients are encouraged to adhere to. In this 2-page glossary, you are given definitions of LGBT-related words, such as gender reassignment surgery and gender non-conforming. We are also given an inclusive language do's and don'ts, instructing us to avoid using certain terms and what to replace it with. It is as follows. Hermaphrodite has been changed to intersex due to negative medical history. Homosexual has been changed to gay, claiming homosexual is a medical diagnosis. A gay or a transgender changed to a gay or transgender person. Ladies and gentlemen changed to everyone, folks, etc., as it is more inclusive to all genders. But one of the most shocking pieces of this document is when it comes to referring to birth. Rather than being born as male or female, or referring to babies and people as male or female bodies, you must say assigned male or female at birth. The example they use for this is Max was assigned female at birth, then he transitioned in high school. Rather than assuring its patients with factual biology, the NHS is conforming to woke ideologies and LGBT inclusivity, disregarding biological fact and endorsing transgender youth. The NHS bending morals and biological fact in order to include a minority and now pushing it onto babies. This document was picked up by Rupert Low, which is the Reform UK MP for Great Yarmouth, and he said, "This sends an entirely warped message to young people which can have incredibly concerning consequences, as has been proven through the Cass review. There are men and there are women. That is a biological fact. It is confusing and potentially dangerous to confuse that in a healthcare setting." The Cass review investigated gender identity services in the NHS and discovered that vulnerable children who were questioning their identity were prescribed life-altering hormones. How far are the NHS willing to go for the sake of diversity and inclusion? Are they willing to include and endorse paedophilia? What about bestiality? More importantly, why are medical professionals pushing inclusivity in the workplace and disregarding biological sex, something that is so important in everyday life, such as, what people can be diagnosed as, because there are certain things that men can get that women can get and vice versa. PTSD, single-sex spaces, which is such a pressing matter in today's society. Should gender identity overrule biological sex when it comes to single-sex facilities? One significant debate to be had is a distinction between biological sex and gender identity. Are they tied together? Has gender identity been warped to fit a social construct? Or, more importantly, are trans women real women, trans men real men, or are they just people in dress-up? Biological sex refers to the characteristics we are born with, so for example, reproductive organs, that is one of the key characteristics of biological sex. It also includes hormones and chromosomes. They all define you as male or female. On the other hand, gender is a social construct in today's society where it's based on how feminine or how masculine you identify as, based on your roles, your appearances, your behaviours. LGBT activists argue that biological sex, is fixed, gender is fluid, and you can pick and choose what gender you are any point in life and it can switch up whenever. They also argue that gender identity should take precedence over biological sex and that being a woman is no longer an adult human female, but it's a feeling. You can just feel like a woman. There was also, of course, a story a couple of years ago where men were asked whether they were pregnant or not. It was a requirement in the NHS because you don't know what gender they are. Someone, I believe it was a severe cancer patient, but please correct me if I'm wrong, actually walked out because they were offended of the question. Those in the healthcare system who are meant to protect and care and help the citizens at hand seem to be taking more of an interest on inclusion rather than what's actually factual and what works for everyone. They'd rather suit to a minority than cater for biological facts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I've been Sydney Jones, or Journo Jones 05, and thank you very much for watching.